we're going to move to company presentations. And the way this is going to work is each of these 10 companies will have 5 minutes to present. And we're going to time that pretty, we're going to be pretty strict about the time because we have 10 presentations to get through in 60 minutes. So what's going to happen is I will invite the company to present, and they will share their screen and then have 5 minutes. And if they go over 5 minutes, I'm going to be evil and stop sharing their screen. We aren't going to have time for Q&A between the presentations, but if you want to put a question in the Q&A, and make sure you say to what company you're asking the question, then after they present, they can go back in and answer some of those questions.
Great. My name is Heath Spencer. I'm the CEO of Traitware, and the problem that we're solving has been discussed a lot on both the panels today, and that is username and password legacy login and multi-factor authentication and the need for that today. So the problem that we're solving is 80% of data breaches and ransomware are credential based. It's going to cost over $6 trillion across the globe this year to pay for these data breaches and ransomware attacks, etc. Our solution is to provide a modern identity access platform built on a zero trust framework that has native multi-factor authentication and is passwordless by nature. Passwordless is going mainstream, and this is Gartner's thoughts that by 2022, 60% of large enterprise and over 90% of mid-sized enterprises will implement passwordless methods in more than 50% of their use cases, up from only 5% in 2018. Ann Johnson, the corporate vice president of cybersecurity, states that the first control they tell every company to put in place is multi-factor authentication 100% of the time for 100% of the employees. And that's just the first thing you need to do today, unfortunately. Business outcomes that drive customers to Traitware. First one would be, we reduce your total cost of ownership, that we can cut your password support tickets by greater than 60%. Reducing access control costs, etc., managing provisioning, deprovisioning credentials across that staff, third-party access, etc. What if we mitigated 80% of the risk that you face with security breaches, with addressed with stolen credentials, username, passwords? And we did this in a way that met all government or company mandated multi-factor authentication requirements. And thirdly, as it was mentioned in the first panel, we've got to address friction. So what if it freed your customers and your staff from password hell? So I'm just going to play a quick 40-second video of a passwordless login to Office 365.
Traitware passwordless login to Microsoft Office 365. Navigate to your Office login. Sign in with your Microsoft email. You'll see the Traitware QR screen. Open the Traitware app on your mobile device. Choose the appropriate Traitware account. Confirm your identity. Scan the QR code on your screen. You are now signed in to Office 365. Find out more on Traitware.com.
That was just a quick example of a passwordless multi-factor authenticated inherent login to an application. That can be done on your desktop, your laptop, or directly on your mobile device. Where Traitware can be used for enterprise applications, it can be used for the employee, partner, contractor login, or internal applications. It can be used for B2C customer login portals. It's passwordless MFA to servers for Linux machines, etc. We can provide a white label identity for putting it into an existing mobile app that your company may already have or may not already have. As an example of the attainable market, we've recently become one of 2 passwordless MFA native solutions that's been tested by Citrix. We're now a Citrix security partner and available in the Citrix marketplace as a reference to how we can grow the company. Winning a 1% adoption of just Citrix customers would generate over 2 million MRR. And I know that it was said earlier not to do it for the money, but we've got to have money to run the business and help the world be safer. And with 40 seconds left, the next thing would be Q&A, but we're not doing that now. But please ask the questions in the forum and I'll happily answer them or reach out after the fact. And I stayed under 5 minutes.
That was great. So thank you so much, Heath. You set a great example for the rest of our presenters. So our next up is Anders with EZE Systems. So Anders, let me get my little timer ready. And
can you hear me?
yes.
All right, awesome.
So when you're ready, go ahead.
All right. So pistachios, they are a favorite snack, nutritious, full of potassium, vitamin B, fun to peel, really good. Nichols Farms in Hanford processed almost 100 million pounds of pistachios last year. That required a lot of work and a lot of water. And that's where EZE System comes in. My name is Anders Rindvall. I am the co-founder and system architect of the EasyIO. The EasyIO is an Internet of Things system designed to allow remote control of all kinds of equipment. Our devices control everything from oil wells in Oklahoma, monitor water treatments in Sweden, we monitor defibrillators in the UK and factory automation in Japan, and that's just scratching the surface. Together with Nichols Farms, we designed an irrigation control system based on our EasyIO. In the past, they had irrigation managers driving around on the orchards every day to manually turn on and off valves and pumps. The sequence of operation is really important when you do that, because if a pump is running with too few valves open, there's a risk for ruptured hoses. And if too many valves are open, the pressure will drop so that the drip emitters won't work. And as you've seen, driving along 5 or 99, water in the valley is really at a premium. And there are laws that require precise tracking from the farmers on how and where they use the water in the fields. And not only that, the amount of water needed for each field changes all the time, daily, with weather, tree type, tree size, fertilization needs, insect pressure, and soil condition. So many farmers still use a gut feel approach to their irrigation, but Nichols decided years ago to make this a data-driven process. They started collecting real-time data from the fields using our EasyIO, and already after the first year, they could show significant, as in 50% or more improvements on yield, pistachio quality, and using less water. Over the last 2 years, we have expanded the system to also directly control the pumps and valves, measure levels in the reservoirs, monitor for pressure fluctuations to find leaks, and collect up-to-the-minute data about soil and weather. And rather than now driving to each valve, the irrigation managers can have complete overview of the whole system on their portable tablets. The system typically runs automatically, so they don't have to do anything, and they will get an alert if something is out of the ordinary, but they can also override at any time by clicking on the tablet, wherever they are. So management also has a more granular and more accurate data from all their fields. They can easily generate any reports they need for compliance, for authorities, or for their own forecasts. So industrial IoT, and of course our system, enables businesses to transform the way they operate. The savings and efficiency gains are enormous, but the challenges are also great. It's really easy to get stuck in the implementation details of IoT. Security has to be a natural building block and has to be implemented correctly from the beginning, but it can't get in the way for users to get the job done. Unlike many other IoT products that are specifically designed to solve a single problem, our EasyIO is a general tool with a very broad use. Out of the box, the EasyIO connects to wireless cellular networks anywhere in the world. It records data, allows real-time remote control, GPS positioning, alarming, automation, and there's no need to develop custom software or custom hardware. And this way, it really lets our customers focus on what they need to support their business, rather than having to become IoT experts and solve how to do it. Nichols Farms right now use about 300 EasyIO systems in their operations, and we're not stopping with pistachios. They're not the largest farm in the valley, and pistachios are certainly not the largest crop, but of course our technology can easily adapt to any other crop in any other region. Our expertise in IoT combined with Nichols farming know-how and industry contacts make for a great partnership. And we have similar partnerships in other industries and currently look for other opportunities specifically in the construction industry. Similar to agriculture, the construction industry suffers from a very low level of digitalization, and we know that we can help. So please reach out to us if you want to know more. We're at easysys.com. Thank you.
All right, perfect. I love it when our presenters get all that information out in such a short period of time. So our next presenter is going to be Patrick with PasswordWrench.
All right.
So you can go ahead and share your screen.
Let me know when you see my screen.
All right.
So he has to start video in order for us to see his screen.
Okay. Can you start?
Sure. Okay, there you go.
All right, we've got it, Patrick.
All right, so thank you very much for the opportunity. Patrick Tardif, work for PasswordWrench. We're a SaaS cybersecurity company providing products to help you to resolve authentication problems. But before I show a little bit how we do this, the number one problem that hackers is after, it's your password, because it's how they're gonna get access to your data, and they're gonna be able to steal your money. It's pretty much a number one issue they're after. Also, there are 300 billion passwords to manage in the world, and this is not gonna go anytime soon. Also, the problem we try to resolve is that you want to protect yourself is it costs quite a bit of money if you have a security breach into your company. And also, passwords are very challenging. They need to be unique among all the sites you're using. And because of that, they're difficult to remember. And also, they're difficult to meet the site requirements. So it's very challenging. And if you want to respect the best practice of managing your password, then you need a tool. But the problem with the tool that exists, or the password manager that exists today, is they force you to reveal your passwords and they record them. And this breaks the biggest principle of security. The other also problem is if the hackers know your master password of your password manager, then they'll be able to also access all your passwords, which is a big problem. For the two-factor authentication, there's hardware that requires some of them, and because of that, you can lose them. It's actually also expensive to replace. USB drive can contain malware, which is a problem. And also, if you use a smartphone, most application would be called TOTP application, and they don't really protect you against phishing and middleman attack. So our solution, the PasswordWrench, our password manager that we created, you don't need to reveal, we don't force users to reveal the passwords. And also, if a hacker accesses your master password, they're not gonna be able to access your passwords. For the two-factor authentication that we have, that doesn't require external hardware. And also, our solution works for everybody, no matter if they're a hacker, if they are techie or non-techie. And also, if they have a smartphone or no smartphone. And also, our technology protects you against phishing and middleman attack. So how does it work? The first thing you need for our password manager is a password card. And in this example, the password is actually displayed on the screen, but even that is very difficult to guess. And the second thing you need in our system is a hint. So in this example, the hint is the color of my car, which at this point is still difficult to guess what the password is. And let's see, the car is actually black. And even that, you know now what the hint it means. Is very difficult to guess what the password is. So what is the password? Is the column B, which is very easy to reconstruct. So, and if you use our system, you don't need to actually click anywhere. Also, you don't need to show the character on the password card, and you can create all sorts of shape on your password card. And we have over 50 features. So to resume, step 1, you have a password card. Step 2, you have a password hint. And then 3, you can reconstruct a password. And our 2FA, which we have not talked much, works like a bingo game. You have a coordinate of character that you find on your password card, then you can authenticate. So what we're looking for customers. You can reach out at PasswordWrench.com, and you can schedule a demo with us at any time. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. I first saw your presentation a year or so ago at 1 Million Cups, and you guys have come a long way. So congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so we're going to stop sharing your screen, Patrick. And next up, oops. Oh, that wasn't the timer. That's my 4 p.m. alarm. All right, next up is Daniela with Rthreat.
Hi, thank you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. So go ahead and share your screen.
Oh, sorry, 1 second. Hi everyone, I'm Daniela Applegate. I'm the co-founder and marketing director at Rthreat. It's 7 a.m. John, the CEO of a large company, receives a call from his cybersecurity director. Come to the office now, we've got a problem. John is told their company has fallen victim to a ransomware attack and their data is being held hostage. They're demanding we pay $500,000 in Bitcoin or our data will be sold on the dark web. John's mind begins to race. What will happen to my business? If my customer data is leaked, will I face a lawsuit? Will my customers and business partners ever trust me again? Every 39 seconds, a company somewhere around the world falls victim to a cyber attack. What happened to John happens to thousands of other business owners. This problem affects 1 in every 3 Americans each year, and the situation continues to escalate. So right now, the cybersecurity industry is currently facing 4 major changes. The first being a shifting threat landscape due to the increase in remote workers as a response to COVID-19. The next is more sophisticated cyber attacks and APT groups who are becoming increasingly familiar with defense systems. Third is a shortage of skilled security staff, which forces organizations to get creative with their cybersecurity defenses. And lastly, an increase in data privacy regulations that calls for stricter security requirements to keep customer data secure. So the question is, how can cybersecurity leaders help level the battlefield and tackle these emerging issues? A gut reaction might be to purchase more security tools and implement more processes to double down on security efforts. The more you have, the better off you are, right? But in reality, this is not the most effective solution. It's not about how much you spend on security and how many controls you implement. It's all about the quality and how effective your cyber defenses are. So how do you validate your security controls? How can companies know if their cybersecurity tools and solutions are capable of defending against even the most sophisticated cyber threats? How can you truly know if your cyber defenses are protecting your workforce, both remote and on-premise, defending against sophisticated threats and intelligent attack groups? testing the effectiveness of your security team and measuring their incident response times, and ensuring your customer data and critical assets are truly secure. So the traditional methods for testing out these solutions include penetration testing, red teaming, assessment services, and independent evaluations. But why don't these solutions provide those ideal things that companies are looking for to be able to test the effectiveness of their defenses? First off, they are not pragmatic. So these assessments are subjective in nature, and that tends to inflate risk and incorrectly prioritize certain risks. Second is they're carried out by people, so it's very unlikely for these third-party assessments to truly identify all vulnerabilities that are existing in one single assessment. Third is the results are not always reliable. So point-in-time assessments can just take a snapshot of your security posture at a single moment in time, but really fail to deliver that continuous monitoring as your security infrastructure evolves. The next is they may not accurately reflect the TTPs or tactics, techniques, and procedures that these intelligent attack groups are implementing, continuously improving and changing. So they might not always have the most up-to-date information and intel on these increasingly sophisticated threats. And lastly, they're very expensive. So one assessment can range anywhere between $300,000 to $100,000, which really limits companies to only performing these security tests a few times a year just because the cost is too high. So the question remains, how can companies ensure their workers are protected against the latest cyber threats in a cost-effective way with the ability to perform continuous evaluations? The answer is breach and attack simulation. Rthreat is a cloud-based breach and attack simulation platform that acts as your dress rehearsal for cyber attacks. Think of us as your personal 007 agent. We challenge your cyber defenses and put them up against real cyber threats in a secure testing environment. Rthreat enables you to identify security gaps, address vulnerabilities, and optimize solutions so you don't end up like John. Our team of developers understand the real techniques that hackers use to infiltrate networks. We give companies the power to test their cybersecurity tools and solutions using the latest known and unknown threats. Our platform allows companies to perform on-demand tests so vulnerabilities can quickly be identified and remediated without having to wait on third-party assessments. These assessments can also be used as evidence when reporting to auditors to ensure compliance frameworks are being followed. So don't wait for the bad guys to strike first, and instead take a proactive approach to your cybersecurity using Rthreat.
That was wonderful, Daniela. Right on time. So a few seconds to spare. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. So next up is Bobby with Capital Energy Systems. So Bobby, you can go ahead and share your screen. And when you're ready, we'll start.
Great. Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity. My name is Bobby Reed. I'm the CEO of Capital Energy Systems, and we are an energy services company based right here in Midtown Sacramento. The problem we're trying to solve is reducing energy waste and load management. Yeah.
Do you have slides to show?
Yeah. Can you not see them?
Yeah, I can't see them. Let's start over. Okay. All right, your slides are up.
There we go.
Okay.
So the problem we're trying to solve is energy waste and load management. So according to the EPA, about the average building wastes 30% of the energy it consumes. And then as many of you are aware, most recently, California had their first rolling blackout in 19 years due to just too much energy demand. They couldn't create enough energy fast enough. And if you look at the office place today, this is probably what many of your offices look like. They're empty. You have a lot of buildings that are for lease that are being vacated, unfortunately, due to COVID-19. But in many of those cases, your HVAC might still be running. Tell you a story that the building next to us we're moving into, it's been vacant for a year and the HVAC has been running the entire time. So there's a lot of waste happening in commercial buildings. We're focused on the small enterprise market. There's 5.6 million commercial buildings in the US. 88% of those commercial buildings are less than 25,000 square feet. That means that you likely have package units or you likely have independent thermostats that are controlling the vast majority of the HVAC in commercial buildings in the United States. Now, there's three primary challenges to energy management, to light commercial energy management. One is cost, and that's where IoT really helps to bring down that cost. Number two is actually connectivity, whether it's Wi-Fi, whether it's a gateway solution. It's actually, in a commercial environment, is not the best, connectivity solution. And number three is ownership. Who pays for the bills? It's not necessarily the tenant. Sometimes it's the owner. Sometimes it's the property manager. So a lot of times nobody really cares. And so those are the problems that you see in a light commercial environment. What we provide is energy management as a service. We're a low-cost integrated energy management service for small businesses that reduce energy waste, lower energy bills through energy reduction and utility rebate programs, while still providing comfort for your employees. So all you have to do is replace your thermostat with our industry-leading Cat M1 designed thermostat connected to our cloud, and now you have an energy management system. What are competitors doing in this space? Well, not a whole lot. So there's large commercial energy management is big, but small enterprise is really difficult. There's still a lot of opportunity, and then you have your residential systems that some folks put in their small buildings, but at the same time, there's still a lot of opportunity in the light small commercial space for energy management. So what's unique about our solution? One is our cellular thermostat. It helps to solve the problem of connectivity that I mentioned earlier. All you have to do is replace your thermostat, and then you have an energy management system in your small office. There's no upfront cost. So we can go into disadvantaged communities because there is no cost for our hardware. We're more along the alarm model where you install it and you pay a monthly fee. Then we're constantly monitoring and optimizing the energy and the usage and working in conjunction with utility programs to make sure that we're saving the most money that we can in your building. Load management, as I mentioned, is a real opportunity. So SMUD and utility companies are looking for partnerships today to help manage the load and manage the energy usage that's out there. Technologies such as peak clipping and load shifting, with SMUD, your energy is more expensive between 5 and 8. So let's use some more energy between 4:30 and 5, right? And make it maybe a little extra cold in the office and shift that load to times. And again, the valley filling, right? Maybe we should be turning your HVAC on earlier in the morning for that heat load in order to fill that valleys when not a lot of energy is being consumed. So with our application, you can have visibility into multiple locations all through one single platform. And you can see how your equipment is operating. You get daily reports, so you can see where you have failures, where your HVAC equipment isn't maybe producing as well as it should. And get to understand exactly where you have problems and where you can save energy. Current status is we have an existing Wi-Fi solution deployed in thousands of buildings in California, and we're developing our cellular thermostat in beta. It's being designed by a company out of El Dorado Hills. We've established an EMS cloud solution in the K-12 space for 8 years, and our Wi-Fi solutions are installed throughout California. This year, we're really focused on developing partnerships with utilities and the CEC for more pilot projects. We really do want to be a leader in low-cost energy management and continue to develop our load management solutions in conjunction with SMUD and various utility companies. That's it. Thank you.
Well, that was great, Bobby. And you too were under 5 minutes. You guys are
awesome.
Super impressing me. So thank you very much. So we'll go ahead and stop sharing your screen. And up next is Matthew with Japa. And we'll wait till...
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Awesome.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, so whenever you're ready, Matthew.
Okay, awesome. Let's think about it. We have cities, universities, stadiums, hospitals, and airports. One thing that all these places have in common are parking spaces. Now, if you add all of them up, you have over 120 million parking spaces that are all poorly managed. Hi, everyone. My name is Matthew Magno. I'm the CEO, co-founder of Joppa. And our vision is simple. It's to solve parking everywhere and to make smart cities and smart campuses a reality. But the problem that we're solving, and I mentioned it earlier, is parking. Now, you might feel like this a lot of the, actually, let's make it more COVID related. So you might feel like this a lot of the times. I know I do whenever I have to deal with parking. Now, we all understand how frustrating it is to find an open parking spot these days. You could probably circle parking lots or city streets for around 15 to 20 minutes just to find out that there's not even space there. And you get, mad and then leave. But the problem with parking isn't just for us commuters. There's a whole other end of the spectrum that we don't think about every day, and that's a parking lot management. Now, managing a parking lot is extremely, extremely inefficient today. And the reasons why is you still have people going around counting cars by hand, updating their inventory into old handhelds. You have parking enforcement chalking tires, looking for overstated vehicles, and they have to go out every hour on the hour just to see if the vehicle's still there. And then you also have manual exchanges of money just to pay for your parking. Now, why these solutions don't work today is, there's just too much manual labor for things that should be automated. There's not enough efficient parking information for the operators to make smart decisions, and it's just a waste of time for everyone. Now, this results to over 75% revenue loss for the parking lot operators, and then for us commuters, we lose around like 15 minutes a day looking for parking. Now, we have competitors out there, some of you might have seen, like the lights hanging down from parking structures. But the thing with this is that, installation is costly, and these sensors, they're inaccurate. You have induction loops that you have to drill into the ground and carve it out and put the system in there, and it just does car counts. And the bad thing about these is super expensive. And then you even have these old gate barriers. And when I mean by old, I mean these are outdated. Now, parking definitely needs a new approach, and that's where we come in. Now, we solve the problems I spoke about by providing our customers, our clients, with real-time vehicle tracking. We provide their commuters with visibility of parking spaces, and we provide our clients with new data that are granular. So it's down to a per space analytics. And then for drivers, you get real-time parking availability. You don't have to waste time anymore looking for parking. And how we do it, this is our Japa mobile app. As you can see in real time which spaces are available, which ones are taken. We have policy information, so you know the hours of operation there, the type of payment options. And then later next year, at the beginning of next year, we're launching our contactless payment platform. And how we get the data is it's these sensors. These sensors are amazing. These sensors are all battery operated. They have up to a 10-year battery life, and they have up to 99.5% accuracy. And the best thing about it is they're small. They're low profile. They could take up to a double-decker bus without braking and can sit in a pool of water and work totally fine still. So we gather this data. We know when a car gets there, for how long, where it's at, when it leaves. And we take that data and then we put it onto our management platform. Now with this, we automate the whole experience for the parking management, from violations and enforcement to managing it. We literally make their operation a data-driven operation. And as you can see, we're moving stuff. We store the data for over 3 years so they can see what their operation was like last year for Labor Day and be prepared for this year. We have data analytics. We do violation tracking. We're even helping out with COVID now with doing curbside pickups. And this is how it works. We detect a vehicle in real time. It sends that data through from the sensors to an antenna. Once we get that data, we put it into the cloud, run it through our parking algorithms, and then distribute it to our management platform or our mobile application or APIs for our clients. Now, the value that we bring to our clients is not only can we increase their revenue, but we're able to redistribute their labor to more innovative places, and we save time for everyone. And there's a lot of other benefits too, like reduced traffic means reduced pollution from running vehicles, decreased management, increased service. We launched last year in February 2019, and we're already helping large leading organizations with their parking problems. And we have a ton more in our pipeline. And as you can see, our customers are loving it. SMUD just renewed for an extra 3 years now. And as you can see, it provides them with safety and visibility. They use our data to analyze parking trends. You might have seen us on the news. We won a couple of competitions in the area. But if you're ready to start parking smarter and stressing less, come talk to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. That was great. So again, you're under the 5 minutes. So far, nobody's got the bells. So it's almost disappointing me because I don't get to be the evil witch and turn off your slides. So anyway, all right. So up next is Ling Hong Lee, and why don't you go ahead and share your slides? And I'm also going to, oh, good, you're unmuted. So whenever you're ready, we will start.
Do you see my screen, Laura?
Yes, I can see your screen.
First, I really want to appreciate Startup Sacramento, Clean Start, really get me reborn in Davis. Good afternoon, everyone. And I'm Ling Hong Li. Davis. I established this startup 5-6 years ago, Davis Advanced Energy Technologies. At DE Tech, we manufacture supercapacitors and the CFX batteries. Batteries are for everything: electrification of everything, electric vehicles, smart grids, IoT systems. Today we talk about the IoT security, but how about the reliability? The IoT reliability depends on the power. One of the big challenges for IoT industry is power consumption. For the wireless sensors, there are about already 20 billion of them in operation. And there's a transmission communication towers with UPS, the data centers. There was one report saying in 20 years, the IoT industry is going to be one of the top power consumers. So I'm here today to deliver two messages. One is got to think about security, reliability, also the energy savings, the power savings. And another thing is you have the IoT is powerful, really, but it's also powerless because all those devices need batteries. And those batteries, like the one Japa just Matthew presented, they need batteries. That battery needed to store enough energy in a small form factor. They needed to deliver high pulse powers during the signal transmission, last for 10 years or longer, and all be integrated into the system easily at low cost. And I can tell you by doing this battery R&D and manufacturing for about 10 years now, there's no battery in the market today that can really meet your needs. Here's the DE solution. We developed a new generation battery called the CFX battery. This battery has been existing for many years, but it's really for military use because of high cost. And we developed a novel method to lower the cost. And this battery, if we compare the batteries people are using, manganese oxide or SOCl2, and it is smaller, and it have more power, has a longer shelf life, cost less. And at the DE Tech, we really have two energy storage devices. One is a supercap, one is a CFX battery. This battery for smart meters, wearables, vibration sensors, and I'm going to take to Matthew as well as Easy Iron company. You need batteries, we are here to make your devices more reliable. And I'm here today, actually, Davis, looking for partnerships. We get the support from UC Davis, CEC, and California Mobility Center, Cleantech Open, and Clean Start Startup. I'm looking on this top of these customers. We need a partnership really to develop a sustainable ecosystem for battery technologies in Davis Sacramento region. If you need more interest in our products, our technology, and here's my email address and the phone number. You can also reach Bob Gregory. He's my chief business officer, also an Intel guy. And thank you very much. I'll stop right there. Thank you, Laura.
All right, thank you, Ling Hong, and did a great job there. You might want to go ahead and type your email address in the chat. So if people didn't jot it down, then they'll have a chance to do that. So, all right, so up next is Anthony or Tony Jones with Waterhound Futures. And I'm not gonna spoil it, Tony. Tony, you have some good news. So.
Oh, can you see my screen?
No.
Nope.
See the green share screen button on the Zoom window?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, it's coming up now. So, oh,
Great.
Nice. I like your branding.
Good afternoon, Sacramento. My name is Tony Jones, and I am co-founder of Waterhound Futures. Waterhound Futures is an award-winning software company that provides digital solutions primarily in the water and wastewater treatment systems via simulation, data analytics, and optimization of treatment facilities and predictive maintenance. By creating what we call a digital twin, Waterhound Solutions delivers insight to operating managers and engineers to optimize performance, reduce energy and chemical consumption, and aid in regulatory compliance related to the effluent discharges. How do we play in the cybersecurity and Internet of Things? With Waterhound, historically, with water and wastewater treatment, historically are very conservative sectors and are driven in part by the public health and the human health concerns. We are involved in numerical simulations of the plants, and as you probably are aware, the Internet of Things is exploding in terms of the number of sensors and the vast quantities of data. Most of the data is not utilized, examined, or characterized. It is just stored. From Wiki, we know that Internet of Things describes the network of physical objects. And what we're playing with is what is called the industrial Internet of Things, which requires an architecture of the industrial processes to inform the operator. Waterhound Futures does that. That's what we're about. So we believe this trend of digitization is going to continue. We know from work by Accenture and others that the digital people that take up the digital footprint are significantly better off than those that lag in the digital transformation. Let me just. We provide a framework to examine the data. Many control systems will alarm the operator when the limits have been exceeded. Generally, the control systems do not have the intelligence to inform the operator what to do, such as add blowers or give them instructions on the next steps to solve their problem, possibly reducing the flow rate so that the process kinetics are not overwhelmed. We add intelligence to wastewater treatment. One of our advisors has a previous experience in fintech and is trained in cryptography, which we think is very important for the water and wastewater treatment arenas. Yeah, so we want to ensure that both the public and private systems are essential critical infrastructure, and they need to have systems that have expertise that are not hacked. So we're quite cognizant of that in our software development. Our software has been built on a 20 years of design and manufacturing wastewater treatment plants for Fortune 500 companies. They weren't listed. Okay. Fortune 500 companies, and the original spreadsheets have been converted to a web portal with a cloud base behind it to make the prediction calculations in milliseconds. Yesterday, California Energy Commission awarded us, the Waterhound Futures, the California Sustainable Energy Entrepreneur Development Initiative grant. So we're quite happy about that. We were in the category of artificial intelligence and machine learning. And right now we are seeking facilities to demonstrate our wastewater treatment system. So in predictive analytics. So if you know of any systems or any folks out there that would like to monitor their system for about 12 months, we'd be happy to talk to them. Please get a hold of me at tony.jones@waterhoundfutures.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. And congratulations on the CalSeed grant.
Thank you.
That's a pretty big grant. How much was that?
The first phase is 150, and then there's a follow-on of 450 if we go through the certain milestones.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. That should give you a little bit of runway to move on your idea.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so our next presenter is Bess with Farina. Did I say that right, Bess? Farina?
Yes, correct. Can you see
Okay.
my screen?
Not yet.
Oh, I there.
Did you click the share screen on the Zoom?
Okay.
It's down at the
Did
bottom.
you see me now?
Yes.
Do you see my screen?
Yes. We can see your screen now.
Let me know when I should start. Hello?
Go ahead and start.
Okay. Hi, my name is Bess. I'm the head of product at Farina and Aggie alumni. California wildfire and COVID-19 pandemics are the biggest threat to our lives. It completely changed the way we live. We put health first in our life priority. Farina designed smart light to make you healthier. Our lights are designed for those who are vulnerable to coronavirus, wildfires, and natural disasters like earthquakes. Our light design will help those who are on irregular shifts like nurses, doctors, first responder, firefighters, military, security guards, airport and hotel staff, drivers, caregivers, and those who are high risk in cancers, strokes, heart attacks, and sleeping disorder. Our first product, Farina One, is a new class of smart LED fixture that combine AI and IoT sensors. You can mount on the ceiling, the wall, and the pendant fixture. It gives you the most natural light on a 24-hour circadian schedule that matches your biological clock. It helps you to sleep better at night and wake up with more energy. Our sensor helps you to achieve better health, living in the best ambient temperature, humidity, and air ventilations. We help you to save energy by turning on the light only when you need it. Dyson 4 lamp is the best design light in the market. We take it a few steps further. Our light is brighter and more natural, close to 95% of the sunlight. Aging weakens our eye visions. Americans over age 40 needs 4 times brighter lights and higher quality light to perform. We engineering the right amount of circadian dosage that your body needs when you're lacking the outdoor sunlight exposure. Our safety sensor will warn you of unwanted intrusion, early earthquake, early fire by combining the sensor data. We do so without using the camera. You care about your privacy. Our product is in the manufacturing alpha stage. We gain positive sales interest outside the US. We are looking for partners on market validation. We are looking for alpha customer. We are willing to pay up to $300 on an early evaluation program. So send me your email, connect me on LinkedIn. In 1 year, we want to finish the product design on our 2nd generation LED. We want to transfer the UVC germicidal technology used in the hospital and to combine a compact air purifier into LED fixture. Farina, we care about your health. Thank you.
That was great, Bess. You got me wanting one of those lights. I'm in that category of people over 40 who need more light. So anyway, thank
That's
you so
wonderful.
much. Yeah.
Just email me.
All right. Well, that concludes our presentations for today. Thank you so much to all of our presenting companies. I was really impressed with all of the innovation happening in cybersecurity and IoT. So let's give a hand. Even if they can't see you, they'll feel the energy to all of our presenting companies.